Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Maverick here with episode 6 of Koyomimonogatari. So, unfortunately, I did say I wanted to get out episode 6 last week. Things kind of happened, right? And in fact, even for this week, I'm thinking that I might only have this one episode here. Again, I'll try to find time to stick it in and whatnot. It's just that things are really hectic right now at work and all that. So, I mean, I'm doing my best, right? I kind of don't want to push myself to put these videos out because I feel like it really affects how my commentary and whatnot and my overall mood. I don't want to turn this into a chore or a job, right? So, yeah. Anyways, putting that aside, episode 6 here of Koyomimonogatari. Last episode, we got through Sengoku, and so in this episode, I'm guessing if we're going back to how things originated, the order within the main series and whatnot, I would assume it's Shinobu, right? Or I guess it could also be the Fire Sisters. Either one of those two, right? So well, yeah, let's just get into it and see. All right, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Yep. And here's the answer, eh? Karen. Whoa, I've completely forgotten about, this one, okay. Yeah, this is actually one that I actually quite liked. Karen B, right? Man, I really love the opening animation for this song. I remember now, right? That entire fire artwork and whatnot. Right? That's fire. Literally. And figuratively. Yeesh! Just look at that animation there. Karen B. B B B B B. Yomi Tree? Well, that's certainly kind of ironic. Since they're called Aragi. Okay. Are those dragonfly? Yeah. I guess those are pretty good distractions. uh... Hmm? Oh. Alright, so what's the deal? can help yourself. uh I mean, I guess this is considered fan service for fans, right? Yeah. How do you discover a tree? True. Hmm. Interesting. Interesting. I mean, definitely the logical explanation would be that somebody planted it there, right? If we disregard all supernatural stuff. That's like the that makes no sense, honestly, Karen. But whatever you say. Why would you? All right, never mind. Please give him Please give Aragi a more logical answer here. Oh, is that called Dunning-Kruger effect or something of that sort? I know there's like a term for that. But I'm. Oh wait, not Dunning-Kruger effect. What is it? Oh, the Bader-Meinhof effect. Well, this is certainly very topical right now. Are we really supposed to be drawing this conclusion to this? And why had nobody noticed it till now? I I'm sorry. Maybe I'm just being a little bit too logical about this entire situation, but I really don't think that's the correct way to go about this. Yeah, you believe so it becomes, right? But well, anyways, see you guys after this. I'm kind of on the fence about this episode and the conclusion it tried to make here, right? Like, I know that this particular series or arc isn't supposed to be too serious here, right? They're just a collection of short stories and whatnot. But I don't know. I kind of have a lot of issues with how this particular problem was dealt with, right? Because I just feel like there is no way that having a tree just growing there completely unnoticed by everyone is a natural phenomenon. I don't think so, right? Like, I mean, I guess what they're trying to imply here is that because people were too accustomed to this and whatnot, so nobody noticed it. But we're talking about a tree smack dab in the middle of a training field here, right? We're not talking about like a blade of grass or a flower growing at the end of a sidewalk or something of that sort. It's literally a tree in an open field with training with training equipment around it, right? It's kind of really hard not to notice it here. I guess what I'm trying to imply here is that to me, you know, what should be more logical, right? The fact that nobody, including the original owner of this dojo and whatnot, have never noticed it before, even though that's where they train all the time, and you know, it's literally a complete different sort of thing than everything else that is there. It doesn't blend in at all or whatnot, right? Either it's that, or, you know, the second possibility, which they initially touched upon, which is that somebody, you know, maybe as a prank or something, planted it there in the middle of the night and whatnot. Or number three, that because we are in this current universe, right, we know that there are apparitions, that it's actually a manifestation of something supernatural. It's an apparition here, right? So, and if we look at things like that, to me, it's fairly obvious that option 2 and option 3 are much more likely than option 1, which is saying that for all this time nobody ever noticed it before, right? So so if we do go forward to option 2 and option 3, then what do we have here? So if this is actually a tree that was transplanted there in the middle of the night or whatnot, well, I think, you know, you should either find out like who exactly did this, who was trying to play a prank or whatnot, or perhaps, I don't know, to me, I think it would be much more logical to find a way to transplant it somewhere else, right? We don't need a big tree here which doesn't even have any shade in the middle of the training grounds and whatnot, right? It obscures your vision and so on and so forth, and there's just no reason for it to be there, right? So just make it, just, you don't need to chop it down or anything, but, you know, if you really do care about it and all that, just simply transplant it somewhere else, right? And then the third option here is, of course, that it is actually an apparition, and I think that's actually also quite logical as well, right? Like, maybe it's the spirits of the dojo or something of that sort. But in which case, I feel like they should probably, you know, Karen, that's one matter, right? Aragi himself, he should probably take the situation a little bit more seriously, just to make sure that that is indeed a benign aberration and it's not going to cause any harm or whatnot, right? Because that's not always so obvious with all these different aberrations and so on and so forth. So I don't know, to me, I just feel like this was completely the wrong way to go about it, to just find a way to basically fool everyone without really getting back into the actual root of the question, and which is, you know, how did that tree get there in the first place, which to me I feel is much more important than finding a way to convince others to leave it alone, right? Because you got to do your due diligence first before you find a way to you know, to justify all this, right? Like, to me, I think a far more reasonable thing would be, okay, so say for instance they do go and investigate it, they find that it is an aberration, but it's a benign one, which means that it doesn't really have any, it's not going to harm anyone or whatnot, it's just simply there, and then to sort of spin a story so that others will understand, like they won't panic at the sight of it, right? But you know, you got to go through the processes first. You don't just find a way to explain the situation without finding the root cause, because that's just not a good way to do things, right? That's irresponsible here. So yeah, I don't know, like maybe I'm being too overtly serious about all this, but you know, the past few episodes, I feel like they were quite clear on you know, either this is something that's just completely normal, or this is something unnormal, right, supernatural and whatnot, and they judge it accordingly. Whereas in this one, I just feel like they didn't really come into any sort of conclusion at all. So yeah, anyways, that's basically my thoughts for this episode. And again, the part where they were mentioning, right, once you notice it, then you really start noticing it, that kind of thing. I think it's called the Bader-Meinhof effect or something of that sort. Like, it's a really weird name. Basically, it's sort of like, once you learn something and then you instantly see it everywhere, right? Just some sort of recency bias in a sort. But yeah, anyways, that's it for this episode, I guess. And again, I will try to see if I can get another episode out this week, but don't hold your hopes up. I'm kind of busy for these 2 weeks at the very least, until until the week after that, until like the mid of May here. So I'll do my best, but just stay tuned as usual. So anyways, thank you guys, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.